So we're talking about some problem-solving strategies, and these seem to be very general, but when you're talking about a wide range of problems, then that's not too surprising. Uh, and so an algorithm is a step-by-step procedure for solving a problem. So, and it should always, theoretically, lead you to the right decision. You can see this is considered a type of algorithm. So this was one of should you do it or not. And so start, do you want to do this? No, don't do it. Yes, will it likely end in disaster? If the answer is no, then you should do it. If the answer is yes, then there's one more step. Will it make a good story anyways? Then if the answer is that is yes, then maybe you should do it. If it's no, then don't do it. So this is a little process. So theoretically, if you follow this algorithm to solve your problem, it should get you to the right answer. It can work. That's a specific procedure. And there's good examples of this also in things like medicine, where they have applied protocols that can lead them to a diagnosis or something like that, that can be very helpful. And this is another example. You should go on the slide and watch this video of Sheldon and his algorithm for making friends. It's pretty funny. A heuristic is a different type of problem solving that is it's kind of more of a rule of thumb. Okay, and so my example for this is when to punt or when not to punt. So what NFL coaches, this is a neat little infographic. What they normally do. And so what this does is, okay, what yard line are you on and how far do you have to go? And so if you have 1 yard line, if you have 1 to go and you're on the 50-yard line, what this says is normally what they would do is punt. And so it seems like they have a pretty simple heuristic that NFL coaches generally use, but if they're on the other side of the 50 and it's only 4th and 1, they'll go for it most of the time. If they're on the other side of the 50 and it's only 4th and 2, they'll go for it more often, and so on and so forth. But you see, generally, they don't go for it that often. And then you see a lot of field goals and you see a lot of punting. Well, this is just a heuristic, so that basically saying like, oh, you only go for it if it's on you're on the other side of the 50 and you're 4th and 2 or less. That's a heuristic. That's just a general heuristic that people seem to use. And then you decide if you're in field goal range. Well, that's a very ill-defined problem because there'd be lots of factors. Well, another way to answer this type of issue is a means-ends analysis. So divide problems into intermediate goals and sub-goals, figure out means for solving each one. Well, but that's looking a lot more logically. And when some researchers looked at this problem, they found that a more effective analysis or a more effective method would be to go for it a lot more often. And so if they're on anywhere from the 30 on, if it's 4th and 2 or below, they should go for it. This is based on some numbers about the propensity of actually getting it and the chances that it might affect their propensity to win the game. And so a means-ends analysis, so let's say, when you include those factors, such as not just and some of the factors they talk about is punt is a turnover, and that has an effect on the outcome. And not just will they score on that next, but also looking at it being a turnover, and you can look at that and move it back further and try to solve your problem by using a means-ends analysis. Other possible strategies: working backwards, starting with the goal and then going backwards. Analogical thinking, so you're looking for a solution to situations similar. So, okay, what did other people do? What has someone else done? And then verbalizing it. Sometimes just saying it out loud can help you solve the problem. And the other important part that people tend to leave out is the evaluating results part. So check for evidence that confirm or contradict that this is the right solution. And estimate what you think your answer could be and see if it matches what you think you need. So in the next chapter, so those are some good ways to solve problems, but in my opinion, usually in psychology, we are a lot better at finding out factors that hinder our own problem solving, which as opposed to actually finding good strategies to actually solve the problem. So we'll talk about some of these factors in the next video.